All right, Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast with a special bonus episode to just let you know about a special contest, if you will, going on for Wacken Metal Battle Canada 2019 coming up. So I've got JJ Tartaglia on with me from Boonsdale Records, who's an organizer of the 2019 Wacken Metal Battle Canada. That's a tongue twister. To share some more info about what everything Wacken Metal Battle Canada. So JJ, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hi, John. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. Now, the big question for anybody who doesn't know is, what is Wacken Metal Battle Canada?
So the Metal Battle is a competition for unsigned metal bands. It actually happens worldwide, but here in Canada, we are going on our 6th year for 2019. So it's been running here since 2013. And basically, it's a cross-Canada competition for unsigned metal bands. It's not your typical Battle of the Bands. You don't need to sell tickets. There's no fan voting. The winners of each round are decided by a panel of industry judges or judges who are respected and well-known in the metal scene. And eventually, the rounds happen, and it leads to a final winner who is then flown to Germany to perform at Wacken Open Air, which is the world's largest metal festival, as you probably know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for anybody who didn't know, we're talking about Wacken.
Yeah.
Which is properly pronounced as Wacken. Now, that's absolutely excited. So as you mentioned there, it's a competition for unsigned metal bands. So does that rule out bands who are signed then?
Yeah, and we get this all the time. A lot of bands are signed to smaller labels, especially this day and age. There are a lot of small labels. Some bands have, started their own labels or whatever. But that, unfortunately, that does rule you out because the rules worldwide are established so that it's for unsigned metal bands, so that if you do get picked up when you're at Wacken and get an offer from a label, then you're in a position to accept it. Whereas if you're already spoken for and your next couple of albums are already signed over to a label, then you're not going to benefit from this whole thing as much as you would. So because of that, they've structured it so that it's specifically for unsigned bands.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, the next logical question is, how do these unsigned bands get involved?
So it's super easy. You go to the main website, which is metalbattle.ca, and you can sign up there. It's free to apply. It's super simple. You just click apply now from the homepage, and you just need to fill in your band's information. It's very straightforward. Band name, links to music, links to video if you have any, bio, photos, all that regular stuff. You hit submit, and then that goes to the regional promoters and organizers, who will then decide if you make the cut or not, and you'll be notified probably by the end of December, early January, to let you know if you've been accepted or not. And then the shows will kick off probably early January.
Cool. So I'm guessing then that there's a deadline fast approaching for band submissions.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been open now for, I think, about a month, and the final line to apply is 21st. So you don't want to miss that if you're in a band and you want to compete.
Cool. So, Rock Metal Nation, that is December 21st. Go ahead and head over to metalbattle.ca. It's free to apply. Just click apply now from the homepage. Fill out all your information. And then, as JJ had mentioned, it is a cross-Canada competition with regions. So my next question is, where is the competition happening across Canada?
So it's been growing more and more each year. And for this year, we have a total of 13 cities from coast to coast. And that's something new. For 2019, we are actually involving the provinces of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia for the first time. Woo! So, yeah, that's a really big deal, especially as a Maritimer myself. I'm very excited about that. Yeah. And that's something that we've been gunning for since the beginning, is to have a true coast-to-coast representation in the metal battle. So finally, we're going to achieve that in 2019. But basically, everywhere in between, from BC to Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Quebec, they're all competing. So, I mean, they happen in the major cities. Obviously, that's where the demand is. So pretty much enter any major city across Canada. If you're in a metal band, then you should have a shot at participating.
Cool. Now, I know that as I'm listening, if I were a band, I'd think, what is the catch or where is the catch? So what happens after a band wins?
So you say you win the whole thing. The next step is to fly you to Germany, and there you will get full backline provided. You don't even need to bring guitars if you don't really want, but a lot of bands do. But everything is there. It's super professional. You play the big stage, and you get VIP camping at the festival. And then at Wacken, there's actually because the metal battle happens all over the world, so they cap it at about 28 countries per year. So each country sends one finalist to Wacken, where they have kind of the international final. So you're going to be the Canadian winner is going to be playing with all of these other bands that are the respective winners in their countries, and then there you get judged once again, and the judges choose the top 5 bands, and you can win cash prizes and sponsor gear. So, for example, like last year, the first place gets 5,000 euros, second place 4,000 euros, third 3, and then just down to 1. And then you also get sponsor equipment like from Marshall and Mark Bass, Randall amps, Pasty cymbals. So it's a big deal. I mean, you've already won, even if you're going to Germany, but just so bands know, it doesn't stop there. Like once you are at Wacken, you can still get even more. There's also a thing called the Metal Battle Lounge. So the organizers invite a bunch of European metal industry to kind of hang out in this lounge area that's set up in the backstage for all of the bands to kind of hang out and mingle and network with these industry guys. So it's very probable that if you're good and you impress the right people, you can walk out of there with maybe a record deal or a booking agent contract or a manager. Like it could be anything, right? So Wacken is super cool with this stuff. They have something called the Wacken Foundation, where they raise money for bands that don't have a lot, or bands that are in obscure countries that don't have the infrastructure to go places and things like that. So Wacken itself is super supportive towards the development of independent metal bands, and it's all structured so that the bands who do make it to Wacken get the most that they possibly can out of the experience.
Wow, that absolutely sounds amazing and fantastic. I'm actually a little bit jealous myself that I'm not in a kick-ass metal band who could compete here in Edmonton. It's like the Olympics of double pedal or something.
Totally.
Instead of getting your engine started, get your double pedal started or something. But yeah. I guess the next question, JJ, is for metal bands who just want to get more information and apply. What is that website one more time?
Yeah, so the main website is metalbattle.ca, and you can find everything there. There's the rules, list of shows will be updated in the next coming weeks. You can read about how it works, and of course the application page is there. We also have a Facebook page, which is super popular. It's just Wacken Metal Battle Canada. Just search that; it'll come up. And I feel like the Facebook page is probably better to keep up on the events once everything gets started, because you can see all the events that are happening and which bands make it to the next round and things like that. So you can tag the bands and everything, and you'll see photos and updates of each of the shows and the judges that participated and everything. So the website is more important just for the actual application and for the general rules and everything. But once everything kicks off in the new year, then even not only for the bands but for fans as well. If you want to keep up on it and you want to kind of follow the progress of the whole competition, the best way is on social media.
Awesome. All right. Well, JJ, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing the Wacken Metal Battle Canada 2019 with Rock Metal Nation.
My pleasure. I'm always happy to talk about this stuff. I think we covered everything. So just get ready to rock it out in the new year on the Metal Battle.